Gina Rivera is one of the most successful people in the beauty industry. She is known for her franchise, Phenix Salon Suites, and her line of beauty products named By Gina. She appeared on the 6th season of Undercover Boss and became an instant sensation among people. But what many people don't know is that after her fame and success, Gina and her salon quickly started getting exposed for its horrifying practices and unclean spaces. Keep watching as we uncover the nasty truths of the Phenix Salon and Gina Rivera.
I have never done a straight razor shave before in my life.
The door's even shut. You can hear straight through the walls. There's nothing inside of the walls to help control the noise.
Before Gina Rivera's appearance on Undercover Boss, she had already established herself as a successful entrepreneur in the beauty industry, with a deep-rooted family history in hairstyling and a growing business with Phenix Salon Suites. Here's a more detailed look at her background and the development of her business leading up to her appearance on the show. Gina Rivera was born into a family with a rich history in the beauty industry, spanning over 85 years. Her parents, aunts, uncles, and grandparents were all hairstylists, and she spent much of her childhood in her parents' salon. This experience ingrained in her a love for hairstyling and the beauty business from a young age. Inspired by her family's legacy, Gina followed in their footsteps, becoming a licensed hairstylist herself. She worked behind the chair for years, gaining experience in the day-to-day operations of a traditional salon. During this time, she developed a deep understanding of the needs and challenges faced by beauty professionals, particularly those trying to operate their own businesses within traditional salon models. In 2007, Gina and her husband, Jason Rivera, founded Phenix Salon Suites. The concept was inspired by her frustration with the limitations of the traditional salon model. Many beauty professionals, like hairstylists, estheticians, and nail technicians, wanted to own their own businesses but struggled with the high costs and complexities of running a full-scale salon. Gina's vision for Phenix Salon Suites was to create a unique business model where beauty professionals could rent individual suites and operate their own mini salons. This allowed them to run their businesses independently without the overhead of a large salon. Each tenant had their own private suite, allowing them to customize their space, set their own hours, and build their own clientele, all while sharing common areas with other beauty professionals. The model offered greater freedom and flexibility, making entrepreneurship more accessible to those in the beauty industry. The name Phenix is derived from Gina's son's middle name, Phenix, symbolizing the personal connection and deep significance the business holds for her and her family. Like many startups, Phenix Salon Suites faced challenges in the early days. Initially, the concept of salon suites was still relatively new, and some beauty professionals were hesitant to leave the traditional salon structure. However, Gina and Jason were determined to prove the viability of their model. They focused on supporting beauty professionals, offering flexible leasing options, and providing business education to help tenants succeed. Gradual growth. Over time, Phenix Salon Suites began to grow organically as word spread about the benefits of the salon suite model. Gina's hands-on approach and personal connection to the beauty industry resonated with beauty professionals, leading to a steady increase in the number of renters and locations. She prioritized building strong relationships with tenants, many of whom viewed her as not just a landlord, but a mentor and advocate for their success. Franchising in 2012. In 2012, just a few years before appearing on Undercover Boss, Gina made the strategic decision to franchise Phenix Salon Suites. This allowed the brand to grow rapidly as entrepreneurs across the country saw the potential in the salon suite model. The franchise model gave beauty professionals and investors the opportunity to open their own Phenix locations while adhering to Gina's vision of empowering independent beauty professionals. Gina placed a strong emphasis on ensuring franchisees received the support they needed to thrive. She and Jason implemented systems and processes that provided guidance in areas like leasing, operations, and marketing, which helped Phenix Salon Suites expand while maintaining the brand's core values. By the time she appeared on Undercover Boss in 2015, Phenix Salon Suites had grown to over 100 locations across the United States. Before becoming a nationally recognized figure, Gina's core mission was to empower beauty professionals to take control control of their careers. She understood the challenges they faced, both as a hairstylist herself and as someone who grew up in the beauty industry. Phenix Salon Suites became a way for her to give back to the industry that shaped her life by creating a path for beauty professionals to achieve financial independence and success. Gina maintained a personal connection with many of the professionals working in her salons. She took pride in being accessible and involved, ensuring that Phenix was not just a business, but a community where beauty professionals felt supported and valued. Despite her passion and success, Gina has spoken about the early struggles of balancing her growing business with her family life. As a mother and wife, she was committed to being present for her family while simultaneously growing Phenix Salon Suites. Her husband, Jason Rivera, has been an instrumental partner in the business, helping to manage the operational side of the company. By the time Gina appeared on the show, Phenix Salon Suites was recognized as an innovator in the beauty industry. The salon suite model was gaining popularity, with many other companies trying to replicate Phenix's success. However, Phenix's emphasis on supporting beauty professionals and providing them with the tools to succeed helped distinguish the brand. Recognition and growth. Prior to the show, Gina was already receiving recognition within the beauty industry for her innovative approach. She was becoming known as a leader in the salon suite movement, though her national profile was significantly boosted by her appearance on Undercover Boss. When Gina was invited to be featured on Undercover Boss in 2015, her company was in a pivotal phase of growth, but she wanted to ensure that the Phenix brand was still delivering on its core mission. Her decision to go on the show was driven by a desire to understand the experiences of those working in her salons more deeply, and to ensure that as Phenix expanded, it stayed true to its founding values of empowerment, flexibility, and support for beauty professionals. Gina went to Colorado to meet her father, a hairstylist, to help her get into disguise. She is going to be portrayed as Ashley, a married woman with 2 children, who is competing to win a 1-year apprenticeship with a celebrity stylist. After disguising herself well, she went out to her family, who were amazed to see her as a completely different person.
Who would you rather be married to?
After putting her luggage in her car, she said bye to her family and drove off to Boca Raton, Florida. She is going to be working as a barber at Phenix Salon Suite. She went to the salon and met with Michelle. Shortly after, Chris joined them. He was there to get a haircut, and Gina was the one who's supposed to do it. Struggling with no experience of barbering before, she started cutting Chris's hair. Michelle keeps telling her how to do it right, but Gina can't even hold the razor straight. Chris, listening to the instructions and Gina's confusion, commented on how much he wants to see what is happening to his hair, but Michelle jokingly told him that he wouldn't want to do that. Michelle took the razor and took over to fix what Gina ruined.
I'm gonna just fix this for a second, even with her.
Michelle then told her they will now do a straight razor shave, which is a straight blade and it needs caution. After the necessary warning, Gina got nervous and overwhelmed by the thought of performing such a thing on someone's face. Shortly after, their next client, Mike, came to get a shave. They started preparing him for that. Michelle reassured her that she will walk her through everything. They took a hot towel and put it under his nose after folding it. Gina covered Mike's mouth, and he jokingly told them he couldn't breathe. Gina fixed the towel, apologizing. Michelle handed Gina the straight razor, along with several warnings. It was precision work, with no room for mistakes, so Gina needed to be extra careful. Michelle demonstrated the technique, and Gina hesitantly began. The pressure started to build, as Gina had never performed a straight razor shave before. Michelle, skeptical at first, watched closely, but to her surprise, Gina handled it well.
Surprisingly, I thought Ashley did really well.
Gina successfully completed the shave, much to both her own relief and Michelle's satisfaction. Michelle complimented her work, which eased Gina's nerves. Afterward, as they wrapped up for the day, Gina asked Michelle if she had children. Michelle revealed that she has 4 kids and had recently gone through a divorce, making her the sole caregiver. She shared the challenges of raising teenagers, especially with one son suffering from rheumatoid arthritis. Gina listened intently and sympathized with her situation. After their heartfelt conversation, they cleaned up the shop before heading out for the day. Gina's next journey took her to Las Vegas, Nevada, where she will be working as a nail tech. She got inside and met up with the nail technician, G. After they shared greetings, Gina expressed her amazement by how there were a lot of things there. G told her that she liked it here, and it makes her feel like she owns her own salon. G could clearly see that Gina was overwhelmed by the amount of products and how neatly they were kept. As they were talking, a woman walked in. G introduced her to Ashley and explained that they would be working together on her. The task was to do a pedicure, and G sat in front of the woman first, demonstrating to Gina how it should be done. Once she was confident that Gina understood, G excused herself to go to the bathroom, leaving Gina to take over. Gina, feeling both nervous and uncomfortable about touching someone's feet,
Thinking is, where have these feet been today?
continued working despite her discomfort, choosing not to express how she felt. G had been encouraging Gina to be more assertive and less timid while working, but Gina struggled to improve. After Gina applied the polish, G returned to inspect the work. She immediately spotted a bald patch on one of the nails and told Gina that she couldn't allow a client to leave in that condition.
You won't let your clients leave like that, right?
Yeah.
Sensing Gina's anxiety, G reassured her that everything would be fine, as long as the client left with a flawless result. Gina admired G's professionalism and her dedication to delivering perfection. After fixing the polish, the woman thanked both of them and left. G suggested they have lunch, and the two left the shop together. As they walked out, Gina glanced at the empty suits displayed in the window and asked what was happening with them. G, clearly concerned, explained that she had already spoken with the owner, worried that the branch might be closing. Upon learning about the shop's struggles, Gina thought a new marketing strategy might be a better solution than abruptly shutting it down. Once they were seated for lunch, Gina learned more about G's life. G had spent 15 years working as a nail technician, though her career path had included various roles before she settled into this profession. The conversation shifted to family, and G revealed she had a daughter preparing to attend law school. However, 7 months earlier, her daughter had been involved in a car accident, which had kept her in the city. While her daughter hadn't been physically hurt, the experience had shaken her deeply. G also shared that she had lost her mother in a car accident. Overwhelmed by the memories, G began to cry, and Gina gently comforted her as they embraced.
Okay, I cannot do this anymore.
Gina then traveled to Catonsville, Maryland, to work as a cosmetologist. There, she met Felisa, another cosmetologist. After they greeted each other, Felisa explained that they would be working on installing a wig. Gina felt nervous, as she wasn't familiar with styling African-American hair. Their first client, Kira, arrived and greeted them warmly. Felisa explained the process and began installing the weave to demonstrate how it should be done. After showing the initial steps, she handed the needle to Gina so she could try it herself. Gina took over and began working. As Gina is working, Felisa complained about the thin walls and how noisy the salon was. Felisa then added that they needed to finish the installation in 60 seconds, prompting Gina to rush. However, when the 60 seconds passed, Gina was far from done.
It's been over 60 seconds, actually.
Oh, it has?
Yes.
Felisa rated Gina's performance a 4 out of 10. After they finished installing the weave, the two sat down to talk. During the conversation, Gina learned that Felisa was frustrated by the lack of communication in the salon. Felisa had to purchase her own hairdryer because there was only one available. She also shared that her 2 daughters were her top priority, and since they attended a private school, she had to manage the costs. Felisa became emotional as she mentioned the recent loss of her grandmother. She confessed that she hadn't visited the grave because she felt like she hadn't accomplished enough and saw herself as a failure. Gina comforted her as much as she could, offering support. Gina's 4th and final job was as a hairstylist, so she headed to Long Beach, California for the experience. There, she met Richie, a hairstylist. Richie initially thought that Ashley looked like a stay-at-home mom and worried that clients might be hesitant to have her cut their hair.
Ashley's appearance is a little stay-at-home mom. My clients expect a little more fashion-forward.
Their first client, Sandra, walked in, and they began preparing her for a haircut. Richie explained the process to Gina and then handed her the scissors. As Gina carefully cut Sandra's hair, Richie started talking about the grand opening of his salon. He recalled how poorly the event had gone, to the point where he didn't even invite his regular clients, fearing they would think the salon was failing. Their next client, Nikki, arrived for a hair highlight appointment. Richie once again explained the process before beginning to apply the dye to Nikki's hair. As they were working, Gina asked Richie if he had always lived in California, and she learned that while he had been living in California, he moved to Georgia with his partner 2 years ago. After spending 6 months there, they realized Georgia wasn't the right place for them, so they decided to move back to California. Back in California, they had their first daughter, but she was born 15.5 weeks early. As a result, Richie's partner had to stay home to do physical and speech therapy to help her catch up from the effects of prematurity. After finishing Nikki's highlights, they began cleaning up. While doing so, Gina revisited their earlier conversation, mentioning that her son was also born 3 weeks premature. Richie then shared that their surrogate mother had just passed the 25-week mark when she reported feeling severe heartburn. They took her to the hospital, and after the doctors performed surgery, they welcomed a 1-pound baby. It took 128 days and 6 surgeries before their daughter was healthy enough to leave the hospital. Richie explained that he and his husband had to liquidate their assets to cover the medical bills, which amounted to around $2 million. He mentioned that he grew up poor and had even lived homeless for 2 years, though the financial strain was especially hard on his husband. Moved by his story, Gina hugged him in an attempt to offer comfort.
No sorries. It's Survivor. If anything, this is what we do. Stand on it like a soapbox. And you survived it.
Richie then showed her a picture of his daughter. Before leaving, Richie mentioned that he was heading to the shelter where he used to live to give makeovers to the residents and invited Gina to join him. It was finally time to reveal Ashley's true identity to the employees. They were all invited to Los Angeles, California, under the impression that they were visiting the set of a reality show to hear the final results. One by one, Gina sat down with each of them, introducing herself as Gina, the co-founder of Phenix Salon Suites, and revealing that she had been Ashley all along. They were, in fact, on the reality show Undercover Boss. The employees were shocked, yet amused by the unexpected twist. While speaking with Michelle, Gina expressed her gratitude, thanking her for the comfort she had offered during their time working together. She mentioned how much she had enjoyed the experience. Gina told her she loved hearing about Michelle's kids and mentioned that she can understand how hard it is to have a son who has such a disease and the expense that comes with it. Then, Gina surprised Michelle with a gift of $10,000 to help her buy wheelchairs and other essential items for her son. Gina also promised to pay Michelle's rent for over a year. Gina then mentioned Michelle probably doesn't have time to go on vacation, and as an additional gesture, she offered Michelle and her family a fully covered vacation to Maui. Overcome with emotion, Michelle cried and mentioned that this is not something that happens to people like her, and happily embraced Gina.
And saying, you don't understand, this doesn't happen. This does not happen. Like, it's finally paid off.
Next, Gina spoke with G, reminiscing about G's concerns over the salon potentially closing. Gina reassured her that they would find a way to fill the space. She then offered G $5,000 to purchase supplies for her hair and nail salon. During the conversation, Gina brought up G's daughter, and G excitedly shared that her daughter would be graduating from high school in just 8 days. To celebrate, they had planned a cruise. Gina offered to cover the cost of the cruise as a gift. Additionally, Gina told G that she would be giving her $40,000 to help with her daughter's college expenses.
Wow. That's amazing.
After this, Gina spoke with Felisa, addressing each of her concerns about the hair dryer and the noise issues. Gina promised to get her a new hair dryer and assured her that they would find a solution for the noise. She then revealed an exciting opportunity. Felisa would be brought up to headquarters to help develop a new African-American hairline, which would be named after her. Additionally, Felisa would receive a percentage of the profits from every product sold. Finally, Gina gifted her $10,000 to assist with family expenses. Overwhelmed with emotion, Felisa cried as Gina expressed her gratitude for all the hard work Felisa had done. Gina told her how proud she was that Felisa had given everything for her daughters, and then offered to pay 2 years' tuition for Felisa's daughter. Felisa hugged and thanked Gina before leaving.
You'll be very, 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 very proud of me. Very proud of me.
The last person to sit with Gina was Richie. She expressed her admiration for his style and complimented his taste. Gina then offered $5,000 to help him host a fundraiser for his daughter's medical bills. Richie, overwhelmed with gratitude, cried tears of joy. She went on to acknowledge how much driving he likely did to take his daughter to hospitals, and told him she would buy him a car to ease that burden. Understanding the immense financial strain caused by medical bills, Gina told Richie that she couldn't even imagine being in his position. To help, she offered to buy him a house, worth up to $250,000, so he would never have to worry about that again. Richie, unable to contain his emotions, broke down in tears and hugged Gina, who comforted him. He then walked out to where his husband and daughter were waiting. In tears, he shared the news with his husband that they had been given a car and a house. They embraced their daughter, all deeply moved by the generosity they had just experienced.
Lottery scratching ticket that says start over.
Each employee received what they were promised. Michelle enjoyed a vacation with her family and returned to a beautifully renovated home.
It's not about me, it's about them.
Without them, I can't be who I am.
G enrolled her daughter in law school after their family came back from the cruise. Richie was given a white car and found the perfect home for his family. Felisa received her new hairdryer, and her daughters were able to start at their new school. After Gina's appearance on Undercover Boss, her life and business experienced significant growth and transformation. The episode brought national attention to both her and Phenix Salon Suites, further cementing her reputation as a leader in the beauty industry. Phenix Salon Suites saw accelerated growth. The publicity from the show helped attract more beauty professionals and investors. By leveraging the attention, Gina and her team were able to expand the franchise rapidly. Phenix Salon Suites now operates over 300 locations in the US and has entered international markets, including the UK and other parts of Europe. Gina continued to evolve the Phenix Salon Suites model to meet the changing needs of beauty professionals. She introduced new programs and offerings, including education and mentorship for franchisees and suite renters. Phenix also embraced technology, improving systems for managing salon suites and tenant services. The show boosted Gina's visibility as an industry advocate. She began speaking at various beauty and business conferences, sharing her insights on entrepreneurship, leadership, and the beauty industry. Her message often focused on empowering beauty professionals to take control of their careers and financial futures. After the show, Gina launched her own personal brand, which includes hair care products and tools under the brand by Gina. Her product line reflects her decades of experience in the industry and aims to provide high-quality, professional-grade products for both salon professionals and consumers. These products have since been sold through various platforms, including partnerships with salons and retail stores. On Undercover Boss, Gina encountered several hard-working salon professionals who faced personal and financial struggles.
As a mother, I cannot imagine having 4 kids, working, a son that's failing health-wise. I can't imagine the pressure. It's tough.
Her experience during the show led her to implement several positive changes. One of Gina's key takeaways was the need for more robust support systems for her franchisees. After the episode, she focused on providing better resources for those renting suites at Phenix locations, including mentoring programs, educational resources, and workshops designed to help beauty professionals grow their businesses. The show also inspired Gina to become more involved in philanthropy. After learning about the challenges faced by some of the beauty professionals she met, she started various initiatives to help people in the beauty industry who were struggling with financial difficulties, illnesses, or other personal hardships. Phenix Salon Suites didn't just grow domestically, the brand expanded internationally. In 2018, they entered the UK market, marking the beginning of the company's international footprint. Their global expansion has helped solidify Phenix as a leading brand in the salon suite industry worldwide. Gina continued to gain media attention after Undercover Boss, being featured in business and industry publications. She was profiled in outlets like Forbes, Entrepreneur Magazine, and beauty industry publications, where she shared her journey of building Phenix from the ground up and her vision for the future of beauty entrepreneurs. Gina received several awards and accolades after the show, including recognition as an innovative entrepreneur and a leader in franchising. Her ability to grow Phenix while maintaining a personal connection to the people working in the beauty industry earned her respect and accolades within the business community. While continuing to grow her business empire, Gina also focused on her family life. She has spoken publicly about the challenges of balancing motherhood, marriage, and business ownership. Her husband, Jason Rivera, is a key part of the Phenix Salon Suites leadership, and together, they have continued to expand the brand. Gina Rivera's work has had a lasting impact on the beauty industry. Her salon suite model has helped empower thousands of beauty professionals to become independent entrepreneurs, providing them with an opportunity to run their own businesses without the overhead of a traditional salon. The Undercover Boss episode acted as a pivotal moment for her career, propelling her company to new heights and allowing her to give back even more to the beauty community. Today, Gina continues to lead Phenix Salon Suites, remaining hands-on with the business while also focusing on expanding her personal brand and product lines. But all this growth and expansion isn't without controversy. The more stores you have, the more inconsistencies start to pop up all over the country. And that is exactly what happened to Gina's store too. After the hype of her salons died down a bit, reports and reviews started popping up online of some branches having lackluster services with employees and facilities being not up up to the standards that were advertised. Another issue that came up when we dug a little deeper is that, in some locations, there have been issues of the sanitation of the bathrooms not being so great. One reviewer stated that there are no toilet seat covers when you use the restroom. There was a dirty diaper smeared on the floor. It isn't just this one. There are tons of terrible reviews that were given to this branch and other branches just like this. This shows the lackluster care that the owners have for the salons. And with it being a franchise now, all they care about is getting more of them open and not be responsible for the less than standard upkeep of each branch. With all these things happening to the salon, Gina and her family will have a tough few years ahead of them if they want to keep their business running without issues. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and leave your thoughts about Gina and her business in the comments.